Loud. Okay, we're doing it. Okay, welcome. Good morning. I'm so glad you're all here. Welcome to my home, my very busy, lively home. And what else? If you haven't already, you can grab maybe like a can of beans or something that you can use for your arm weight, a glass of water, and a chair. But just take a moment to kind of scoot your furniture out of the way, maybe turn on the radio or your favorite record, and let's start to warm up. So we're gonna start just by marching in place, right? And if you have room in your space, you could maybe, take up a little space, maybe do a little box step or a little in aerobics, they call this the step touch, right? Kind of moving side to side. But whether you gotta listen to some music to get your rhythm going, or maybe you just wanna start to tap into your internal rhythm, we're just gonna spend a good, 5 or so minutes really just warming things up and connecting to the breath. And for those of you that are maybe new to sail or new to me, as always, just take this at your own pace, right? All of the exercises, all of the practices are just kind of a container for you to push and pull on depending on how you're feeling. What's important is that you're here and that you just do your best, right? My dog is looking at me like, wow, what are you doing? Is mom being weird? Yeah. How's your breath today? Maybe give yourself a nice full deep breath. Good. Go ahead, just marching in place here. We're gonna sort of push up a little bit against our equilibrium and our balance by turning the head side to side, right? And looking out, right? Looking out in the directions right and left. And again, if you have a little bit of room in your house or wherever you are, you might practice just gently walking forward while you do this, just a couple steps, and then walking back. Good. Coming back to just sort of marching in place here, walking in place. And our next exercise, we're gonna practice making big movements here with the legs, right? So this exercise is called walking over or stepping over obstacles. So you might sort of pretend that if you were on a hike and you were kind of at like a rocky terrain where you had to step over some big logs, what that would be like. Sometimes in class, we imagine we are stepping over dog poop, which is kind of a common thing that you have to look out for in the city. Right, but as always, this action is an important range of motion in our houses as well, right? This is the same sort of action we have to take if you were stepping, if your shower is in a bathtub, you might have to step out and over, right? So just sort of noticing the big muscles fire, right? The thigh bone turning in the hip socket. Got a couple more. Good. Let's go ahead and let that go. All right, so next practice here is kind of like walking a tightrope. You're gonna walk heel toe the best you can. You might bring your arms out to a T for support and balance, or maybe bring your hands to your hips if you like, and just do your best. Again, it totally depends on how much space you have, but nice and slow. Heel toe, right? And when you can't go forward anymore, right, you might practice walking backwards, or you might just turn around. As you walk forwards, notice if it helps your balance to maybe look out in front of you, or if it's helpful to look down. It's kind of noticing how your gaze will change the experience of your balance. Good. Let's go ahead and let that go. You can just come back through center, and let's set up kind of like our imaginary circle. So like when we're all together, we all stand and make a circle together. So give yourself a moment just to come into standing, bring your feet underneath your hips, maybe bring your arms out wide, just sort of let yourself take up a little bit of space. Then you can relax your arms down, shrug your shoulders, and let's just take a moment to acknowledge each other, right? Even though we're all in very different physical spaces, we're all connecting here for this next, 35, 40 minutes to do something good for our bodies, good for our minds, and to do something in community. So maybe bring your hands to your chest to send out a little bit of warmth and friendliness, acknowledging and appreciating each other. And together, let's find a nice deep breath in, easy breath out. Good, and we'll start to warm up all the major joints of the body. Let's start with the head on the neck. You can just make nice, gentle little circles here. Good, and then gently reverse the direction, right? And as you do this, connecting with your breath. You don't need to force your breath or breathe deeply. You're just kind of feeling the ground underneath your feet, your inhale and your exhale. Good. Let's come back through center. We'll start to work into the shoulders. You can shrug your shoulders up and back. All right, squeezing the shoulder blades together, bringing a little space through the chest and the sternum, the collarbones. Good, and let's take that same motion, but reverse it, shrugging the shoulders forward and down. So really spreading the shoulder blades, right, away from each other. Good. Go ahead and relax that down. This time you're going to bring your fingertips to your shoulders, your elbows out nice and wide, right? And imagine that you were swimming forward, right? So making like big circles with your elbows. And see if you can kind of, it's an active movement, but see if you can kind of relax into it and kind of just feel the flow, right, of your shoulder girdle being connected to your spine being connected to your pelvis, your hips, right? So as we do this action, we're creating sort of like a, you know, like a shifting from side to side. Good, and then let's reverse that like you were doing the backstroke. Again, noticing the breath. Good. Let's go ahead and relax that down. You can bring your hands to your hips, right? Feet are hip width distance here, a little softness in your knees. You're gonna start to make big circles. Letting your thigh bones rotate around in the hip sockets. And as always, just explore your own range of motion, right? How far back can you stick your butt, right? How far to the right and to the left can your hips go? And just meeting your edges, not pushing past them or forcing any sort of specific range of motion, but work what you got. Good. Right, let's swing it around in the other direction. Good. Let's go ahead and come back through neutral. We're going to work into just a little, like a gentle squat. It's weird to even put those two words together. But we're going to practice just hinging a little bit at the knee here, right? Let your body weight be in your heels. You might even kind of let your toes float up for a moment so you can really feel your body weight shift back. You're going to stick your butt back like you were sitting, like you were going to sit down in a chair. Hinge at your knees just a little bit and then drive through your heels to stand back up. All right, so not a huge movement. You can go as fast or as slow as you like. We're going to do this for about a minute to really sort of start to fire up the big muscles of the legs, of the lower body. And you might want to kick your breath on for this. Go at your own pace, but for me, I'm going to say this is the last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cool. Go ahead and stand up. Give it a little shake. All right. So we're going to start to work right into standing balancing practices. And we'll do, I kind of like to mix these up every day to try to, or to each class. So sometimes we're not always going to do the exact same sequence every single time. I think that just kind of gets a little bit redundant and boring. But also our body likes us to mix things up, right? It literally keeps us on our toes. So for standing balancing today, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and just come to your chair right away. And the chair is here as a prop. It's just as something for you to use as support. And we'll practice, you know, coming away from it, but you never have to let go of the chair ever. That's okay. We're going to start with one-legged balancing. So root through a standing leg, right? And then you have a couple options. You can either bend your knee up, right? Like bringing the thigh parallel to the ground in a high knee, or you can hinge and bring the 90-degree angle, right? Hinging at the knee, kicking the foot back, right? So whatever you choose, just give yourself a moment here. Hang on to your chair. And first and foremost, just feel the ground underneath you and feel where your body weight is in your foot, right? Some of us are in the ball mound, right, of the toes. Some of us bear our weight in our heels, some on the outside or the inside, right? So just take a moment to notice and then imagine that you could press your foot down. And as you press your foot down, you might sort of feel your standing leg, the quadriceps and the glutes engage. Let your gaze be soft and unmoving. And maybe just for a few seconds here, practice floating your fingertips away from your chair, even if it's just for a moment. Good. Let's go ahead and set that down. Give it a little wiggle. Stand through your right leg or your other leg, right? And again, you can either bend your knee so your foot kicks back, or you can lift your knee up, right? Start with your standing leg. Start with the ground. Root through your foot. Let your gaze be soft. Right? And then maybe don't even let go of the chair, but just let your touch get very light. Some of you are like, no problem. I bet you're floating your hands away, levitating. Good. And go ahead and set that down. All right. So next we'll work a little bit of a lunging practice, right? So lunging, we do this all the time in our sail practice. So make sure there's no cables or cords for you to trip on. Coming from a neutral standing position, you're gonna lunge forward, right? Like almost like you were falling forward. You know, lunge forward and let your leg catch you, right? Press strong through that leg to bring you back up through neutral, right? And then go to the other side. So lunging side to side, keep your chest lifted. And this sort of lunging action is physically going to sort of, you know, kick your heart rate on. It's a little bit of cardiovascular. It's a good workout, but let this be a mindfulness practice, right? When you let yourself sort of fall forward, notice your body's ability to stabilize, to catch you, and then to bring yourself back up through neutral. Notice what muscles fire in your body to create that. Where do you land in your feet? You know, what does it feel like? Let's do one more on each side. And then make your way back through neutral. So same thing, we're gonna do that, but to the back. So make sure there's nothing behind you, like dog toys and other things for you to trip on. You're gonna step back like you were falling backwards, strong through the belly and the chest to lift yourself back up through neutral. Okay, and side to side. You can't see behind you, so as you move backwards, you're gonna really have to feel behind you. Right, you might sense your whole back body in space. Let's do one more on each side. Awesome. And come back up through center. So bring your feet, right, hip width distance or so, a little softness in your knees. Like nothing needs to be rigid or locked. Just let things kind of feel easy and neutral, right? We're gonna practice a little bit of just sort of working with balance with the eyes, right? So, and equilibrium. So you're gonna bring your arms up, move your hands sort of through space and let your eyes follow your hands. And as you do this, sort of the background is gonna move quickly. It might make you feel a little bit dizzy. So as we do it, I'm gonna encourage you just to be with the felt sense of earth underneath your feet, maybe wiggle your toes and breathe. Good, go ahead and let that go. Right? Maybe bring your hands to your heart. Just kind of let everything slow down. You might find a nice deep breath. Let's do that one more time. Good, and go ahead and let that go and just be with your body as it sort of settles. It'll probably give you an impulse to wiggle or to breathe in a specific way, maybe yawn. Awesome. So before we move into our arm weights, we're gonna do a practice from the sail course, which is just, it's a balancing practice. But in Rhonda's class, she would call this get on and off the bus. And I think this is a great exercise. So grabbing your chair, right? It's gonna look like this, and I'll take the time to demo it if you wanna just watch first. So you're gonna sit in your chair and we're gonna go, I'm gonna say to the right first, but I feel like my camera might be flipped. So it doesn't really matter, just pick a side and just do what you like to do. But to the right, we're gonna get off the bus. So you're gonna stand up and you're gonna turn all the way around so that you're standing at the back of the chair, right? And then we're gonna get on the bus. So you're gonna come around to the other side and sit down, right? So what it looks like is get off the bus, get on the bus. Cool? So we're gonna do that twice to the right and then twice to the other direction. So have a seat if you're not already there. And here we go. Get off the bus. Get on the bus. Get off the bus. Get on the bus. Oh, let's try it to the other way, right? Get off the bus. Get on the bus. Get off the bus. Get on the bus. Cool. So from here, if you can, just go ahead and grab your weight. We're gonna stay in the chair for our arm exercises. And take a sip of water. If you need a sip of water, please always take breaks. Stay hydrated. I'm happy to have everyone in my home, but it's actually kind of hard to practice in here. We have those really old radiators. They just like don't turn off. It really feels kind of like a humid jungle in my apartment right now. So if I start to sweat, where I am, it's really hot. We even have a little window cracked open. All right, so we're gonna start with bicep curls, and we just work one arm at a time, and we work to do 20 reps. I know some of you do variations of this. So I'll guide you through the whole thing. As always, just do what feels best in your body. Starting with bicep curls, you're going to keep your upper arm stationary, right? This is just going to stay in one place. We're hinging at the elbow, right? You're going to lower and then lift, right? Lower, lift. Nice controlled movement. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Last 2, 1. Awesome. Go ahead, and if you need to give it a little shake, shake it out. Set it up on the other side, right? Shoulder rolls, back and down, right? Nice. Imagine your upper arm bone being sort of like plugged into the shoulder socket. Everything's nice and sort of taut there. We're hinging at the elbow to lift and to lower. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Back through center. Give yourself a little funky chicken dance. You're going to set up for lateral raises, right? So again, shoulder rolls back and down, sit up nice and tall and strong through your belly, right? This sort of engagement, kind of pulling the navel up and in, supports the spine for good, strong posture, right? From here, the lateral raise, you're going to keep your forearm, the top of your forearm sort of facing away from you, and you're going to lift just to shoulder height and then lower. Lift, lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Last 2, 1. Whew. All right, I'm telling you, the garbanzo beans are the way to go. Out of olives and tomatoes and the other things I've used, the can of beans is actually a pretty good weight. Gives a good little burn there, right? So again, set it up nice and strong here, right? Lift just to shoulder height and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Go ahead and shake that out a little bit. We're going to work a shoulder press next. So bring the humerus bone, the upper arm bone, parallel to the ground, right? A little 90-degree bend in your elbow here. You can kind of let your the crease of your wrist face forward. And it's not a huge movement, right? It's just a lift, a press, and then you're going to return to that 90-degree bend, right? So press it up, lower down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Set it down, give it a wiggle, set it up on the other side. All right, check in with your breath. Rest when you need to. Press it up, lower down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Set it down. Those are done. All right, so the next exercise is a tricep kickback. I'm going to turn this to the side to demo for you here. So coming kind of, make sure your butt is sort of maybe, halfway or third of the way in the chair. So you can bring your feet out in front of you so you have some support. You're going to bring whatever arm is not using the weight, you're going to bring that elbow to your knee for support and lengthen your spine. Imagine you want to really stick your butt back and really reach the crown of the head forward. Bring the navel up and in. So the setup is, just as important as the exercise itself. Bring your upper arm stationary, right parallel to the ground. And again, it's sort of starting at this 90-degree angle. We're hinging at the elbow to extend and then bend, right? Extend, reach back, and then bend. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. Oh, good. That one is done. All right, we'll set it up on the other side. All right, take that moment to find that nice supportive structure through your upper arm, your legs, and your spine. Right, extend through the elbow and then lower down. Lift, lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew, last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, always so grateful when those ones are done. I know they're such important exercises to do for the triceps, that sort of long, skinny muscle at the back of the arm, but everything about that is so uncomfortable, borderline unpleasant in my body. So if that's you too, I feel your pain. We did it. We're awesome. Okay, so now one of my favorite exercises. It's the hammer curl. I think I just love the word hammer curl, or the words hammer curl. I think it sounds badass. It's a hammer curl to a shoulder press, right? So it's a big range of motion. You're keeping your upper arm sort of stationary, forearm facing out, top of your hand facing out. You're just gonna press right into the hammer curl, lift all the way up. Good. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Lower it down. Let's set that up for the other side, right? Shrug your shoulder back, nice and controlled. Hammer curl, press it up, shoulder press, right? Rebend and extend. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more, 1. Awesome. Cool. Give yourself a funky chicken dance. Give yourself a big, deep breath. All right. So last is similar to our lateral raise, but we're going to keep the arm extending out in front of us, right? Forearm faces up, top of your hand faces up, and you're just lifting to shoulder height, right? From here, notice if you're pulling forward, don't pull forward, sit up nice and tall and bring your shoulder back in its, back and down, back in the shoulder socket, right? Here we go. We lower and lift. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Here comes my dog. 4, 3, 2. We're going to hold it out. Keep it lifted on 1. Hold it out and breathe just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Set that down, right? Permission to feel into that burn a little bit, right? That's what change feels like. That's what exercise feels like. That's what strength feels like. So if that was a doozy, be proud of yourself. Last set of arms, right? Let's kill it. Crushing it with these garbanzo beans, shoulder blade up, back, right, and together. Here we go. Lift, lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Last 3, 2. You're going to hold it up, keep it lifted. 1. Breathing here just for 5, 4, 3. Last 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and lower it down. You can set your can down, maybe shrug your shoulders, give yourself a breath. We're going to do our sit to stands next, get them over with. This is another just kind of burner portion of class. A lot of cardiovascular action is going to happen. So, it's good, I think, to let our heart rate come up and to kind of have to, kick on our breath to support it. But listen to your body, and you're always welcome to take breaks or do something different. We're going to work to do 20 of these, right? So from a seated position, either bring your hands to your hips or cross your hands over your chest, right? Really practice doing this without using your hands for leverage, right? You're just going to use your legs, right? So stand up and sit down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo, last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, breathing. Last 5, 4, last 3, last 2. If you got one more, go for it. Stand up, last one, and sit down. Cool. And then just give yourself a moment to pause and to stay in the awareness of your body, right? Feel the earth underneath your feet, the butt underneath your chair, your butt on top of the chair. And find your breath. Moment, just kind of feel your heart rate. Okay. So we're going to work into a little bit of abdominal work. I've been liking the way I've been doing this. I'm interested for your guys' feedback, but kind of working, they're crunches, no doubt. It's like a traditional sit-up, but in a chair. And just working the full range of motion and just doing 10 reps, but going really, really slow. I think for me, just kind of hinging back and forth in these really small movements. I'm just sort of like letting the momentum of my body weight kind of move me instead of really targeting and focusing on engaging the muscles and being mindful about what muscles are assisting the action of lifting me up and keeping me from falling back. So just let me know what you think. But like we've been doing, scoot your butt sort of to the middle or edge of your chair, and then you bring your feet out in front of you so you are supported and stable. Sit up nice and tall, lift your chest, and then imagine you were going to bring your navel toward your spine and kind of knit your ribs together. So kind of engaging the core muscles. Like a traditional sit-up, you might cross your hands over your chest, or you can bring your hands to your hips. You're going to hinge forward, right? And you'll meet compression or tension. You'll sort of meet your edge and then pause, right? Keeping your navel up and in, right? I'm going to ask you to imagine that your back muscles were really assisting also the front muscles, lifting you back up through neutral, and then lean back like you were going to rest your back on your chair, but don't. And notice how the tummy muscles are lighting up, the back muscles are lighting up to support you, right? So we're going to inhale to pull forward. Good. And then exhale, lift up. Right, we're just going to go back and forth 10 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stay with it. Nice deep breaths. 9. Good. One more. 10. Cool. Awesome. Go ahead and come back up through center and we'll twist. All right, so from this nice tall seat, maybe use your chair here for leverage. Go ahead and twist around. Maybe look over your shoulder, take a deep breath. And we'll do that to the other side. Okay. We'll start to set up for our legs. So you can move your weight out of the way and come to standing with your chair. So we'll start with the practice of the high knee action. So your chair is here for support and for balance, or maybe it's your countertop or a different prop. That's okay too. But you might practice a little bit of extra balance today, seeing if you can maybe experiment with some of these exercises without your hand on the chair. Just do you, right? Root through your standing leg, bring one leg, one thigh parallel to the ground, and then lower it down, right? So we're focusing the quadricep, the psoas, and the hip flexor. It's almost a little bit of like a crunch, right? So lift it and lower it. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo, last 10. 9, 8, 7. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cool. Both feet down. I like to take up a little bit of space here and stretch the hips by just sort of swooshing them side to side. So give yourself a moment to kind of breathe into all of that sensation. And we're going to set it up for the other side. So strong through your standing leg. The other leg's going to lift, working to get the thigh parallel to the ground, and then step it back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. And again, just a moment to kind of stretch, give yourself a breath. Okay, similar range of motion. We're going to add that extension, a little kick out through the knee. We're going to do half the amount of reps, and we're going to hold it for time at the end. All right, so go ahead and come into that high knee action. You're going to lift it up, extend, kick your leg out, rebend, and then lower. Lift, extend, bend, lower. Cool. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to hold this last one out. Hold it out and breathe just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, set it down. Give it a shake. All right, let's finish these. All right, here we go. Other leg, lift, extend, bend, lower. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This last one, we're going to hold it out and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, what a burner. Okay, give it a moment, give it a breath. Work the outside of the hips, really, and the obliques. I really like the chair kind of in front of me for this one. Maybe I can demo it from the side. All right, so you're going to stay rooted through a standing leg and lift. And again, we're not letting body weight kind of create momentum. We really want to kind of stay nice and taut, stationary, tall, and let the muscles hit, like bring the joint and the bone, you know, in and out, right? So you're going to lift and lower, right? Nice and controlled. Might not be a huge movement. That's okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Okay. All right, other side. So other leg is gonna lift. Lift, lower, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, oi. Goodness gracious. All right, well, those are done, and it's Friday, so way to knock it out of the park. Let's do the hamstrings, the glutes, and the lower back here, right? You're gonna just gently do a little lift, a little kick to the back and lower, right? So maybe take the time, get the chair, something in front of you for stability, right? Lift, lower, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, okay, this is the home stretch. Other side, set it up. Find the breath. Mostly talking to myself right now. Let's crush it. Lift, lower, lift, lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Last 3. Last 2. 1. Awesome. Great. Great, great, great. Great to all of us. All right, plantar flexion, calf raises. We're going to work to come up to the tippy toes. We'll do 20 of them and we'll hold that last one. We're going to work to hold it for 10 seconds, right? So looks like this. You can use your chair or not. You're going to come onto your tippy toes and then lower down. Right? Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Last 2. We're going to keep it lifted. Come onto your tippy toes and breathe. Maybe practice bringing your hands away from your prop for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Lower it down. Give yourself a shake. Let all of that energy and that heat kind of circulate and integrate. And then we're going to come to a seat for our cool down stretches. Right? And as always, if you've made it this far in the class, stay and cool down. This is definitely one of my favorite parts of class, and I also think one of the most important parts, right? So a moment just to kind of let all of the information that your body has received physically and temperature and heart rate, to let everything kind of shift back into place and slow down. We're going to start with a big hip stretch. So you're going to work your right ankle towards your left knee. This might not be accessible for everybody, so experiment with really extending your left leg out and see if you can cross your right ankle at your knee there, right? Just do your best. And from whatever your range of motion is, let yourself soften. Maybe bend forward a little bit, and let's find 3 slow, deep breaths here. Good. Go ahead and lift your chest. Let's try that out on the other side, working your left ankle towards your right knee. Let yourself soften forward. Just really practicing the presence, right? Feel the chair underneath your butt, the floor underneath your foot, right? The sensation in your hip. Good. Go ahead and lift your chest. Extend one leg out. You might want to hang on to your chair here. Imagine you were going to touch your toes. You might not get there. Don't worry about it. Reach for your ankle, your shin, bend forward. Nice deep stretch through the back line of the body. And let's do that on the other side. So switch out your legs. Good. Go ahead and sit back up. Bring one foot out in front of you. Kick your leg out and make little circles. You don't need to like really engage your leg. Just extend your leg out so you can kind of make some mobility here in your ankle. And go on the other way. Good. And then you're going to bring that leg behind you. Maybe scooch to the edge of your chair. You're going to grab either your shin, your ankle, or your shoelaces and come into a quad stretch. So just pull the foot in as close to your butt as you can. Nice big stretch here through the quadricep. You might feel this in your hip flexor. We do a lot of work here into the psoas in this class, so give yourself space to breathe into that area. Okay, let's set that down and we'll do that on the other side. So other leg kicks out, make little circles with your toes. Let's go in the other direction. Good, bring the leg behind you, right, your shin, your ankle, your shoelace. Go ahead and pull the leg up towards you. Okay, go ahead and relax your foot down. A little different today, make a basket with your hands, right? So interweave your fingers and you're gonna take that basket and work to bring it behind your head, right? Now from here, you might just stay, let your elbows get wide, just sort of breathe a little bit of stretching and opening through the heart-lung area, right? Or maybe take a deep breath in to lift your chest and your elbows. And then exhale, round forward like you wanted your elbows to touch. Good, let's do that again. Inhale to open up. Exhale to round forward. Let's do that one more time. Inhale to open up. Exhale to round forward. Good. This time, come back up, lift your chest, bring your hands to your knees and bring your knees out wide, right? So you have space. Let's do a forward bend. So scoot your butt back on your chair and just let yourself bend forward. You can keep your elbows on your knees, maybe pause here. Some of you might reach for the floor, right? Some of you might completely relax your head and neck, and we're gonna breathe here into the lower back. And we'll stay for a few breaths. I love this posture. We do this a lot in chair yoga. If you've ever done chair yoga, this is how we do our forward bends. And it's a great way to get a lot of decompression in your lower spine. And also kind of helps just reverse the blood flow a little bit, clear out some of those cobwebs. Find your breath. Good. Now, very slowly, we're going to come back up in stages. So maybe just lift your chest a little bit. Might feel a little head rush. Right? Give yourself time. Maybe bring your elbows to your knees. Stay for a breath. And then slowly, we'll press all the way back up. Bring one arm in front of you, right? Grab it with your other arm so we can stretch through the shoulder and the back. We'll do that on the other side. Good. Maybe bring one elbow up. Maybe take a little side stretch. Grab your elbow. Open up the ribs. We'll do the other side. Awesome. Relax your arms down. Go ahead and stand up. Maybe move your chair out of the way. Start to brush your shoulder and your arm off. A little skin brushing. The skin being what, the largest organ in our body, deserves a little TLC. Get your other arm, your other shoulder. Get your side body. Your other side body. And your chest. Your belly. And your thighs. And your knees. Maybe your toes. Get your back. And your butt. And your hamstrings and your calves. Good. And then come on up, take a deep breath in and reach up. Out loud, say it, I feel so good. One more time, say it out loud, I feel so good. Good. All right, that is class. Hang on for just a second. I am going to exit full screen. And I would love to see who's here. I'm gonna unmute you guys. All right, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Awesome,
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
This was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Cool, I appreciate you all so much for coming. Have a great weekend. And yeah, if you want to stick around, we'll have yoga next here in just a couple minutes. But yeah, I really appreciate it. It's really nice to meet you, Janine.
Thank you. It was nice to be here.
It's Jeannie, right?
Jeannie or Janine?
Jeannie,
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Yeah,
Nice
awesome.
to meet you,
Thanks, Wayne.
Emily.
Have
Thanks
a
for
great
letting us
weekend.
come in your house.
See you Monday.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you for being here.
Bye-bye.
See ya. See you next time.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Bye-bye.